It's Judgment Night on Channel 5. Troy Williamson defends his British Super Welterweight Championship against the pretty boy Josh Kelly. Who wins? Find out Friday, December the 2nd, 9 p.m, live and free on Channel 5.
Matt Lenihan, Boxing Social. Delighted to be joined by Isaac Lowe. Isaac, return fight after your defeat to Nick Ball. What's this sort of period between the last fight and now been like for you? Obviously, you have a bit of a rebuild going on. You've had two really hard fights against people who were well ranked and good opponents, but how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. To be honest with you, I wanted to come back to a 10-round hard fight again, me being me. Yeah. But no, I've had obviously the Lopez fight was a hard fight, and then obviously the Nick Ball fight. Two world-class people, and it was obviously with the cut in the Nick Ball fight, I have nearly 30 stitches in my eye, so I wasn't allowed to fight to December anyhow. So I've had to have a long time out and a long time, but I've enjoyed the rest. A little baby boy at home, my wife. Yeah. So I've enjoyed the bit of downtime, but I'm ready to get back in Saturday night now and putting a good performance on and moving on to 23 with some big plans again.
Did you need that? Did you need a bit of a recharge? Because obviously athletes, boxers in particular, spend a lot of time away from home, a lot of time dedicated in camp. And when you come off a loss, is it important to sort of, build yourself back up again?
Of course. Well, listen, I fought in December. I fought in December against Lopez, and I went straight back into training camp for middle of January for Nick Ball. You know what I mean? For April. So I went back to back against two very high. One obviously Lopez fighting for the world title next week, and obviously Nick Ball's a high level lad. Yeah. And I went back to back training camps. So it was difficult. It was hard. A lot of things went wrong with the Nick Ball training camp. I'm not going to make no excuses. Nick Ball won. That was it. You know what I mean? That was been and gone. I got cut in sparring, and I never sparred for 7 weeks. No fault to me own. I got told not to really take it, but I wanted a tough fight, and I thought, to be honest, I really did. I thought I could beat him. You know what I mean? And I thought with no sparring, I still had the skill to beat him. But unfortunately, I come up short. And fair play to Nick. He's a good kid, and I give him respect. But maybe 23. If it's not Nick Ball, someone else back in Britain. I want some good fights again. Do you know what I mean? Get me hungry.
You mentioned Lopez. He's going against Josh Warrington. Have you got an opinion on that fight? I've seen Josh in camp. He looks in brilliant shape. But Lopez is a good fighter. He proved that against you. How do you see that fight going, in your opinion?
I think it's going to be an absolute excellent war. Josh, I like Josh. I trained with Josh as a young kid, and for 4 years I trained with Josh. I know everything about Josh, and obviously I've shared the ring with Lopez, so I know both of them as two very tough men. Both Lopez can punch, and listen, Josh can punch, and they both got great engines, and I think it's going to come down to who wants it most. I think it's going to be a slug out, but I'm on the fence and leaving to it. May the best man win.
A lot of talk after you fight with Nick Ball within the coming weeks was you wanted the rematch, you wanted to get back in there straight with him. It says a lot about you. You're not wanting to mess around and drop a level. You want to go back in there and put in your mind what was a wrong or right. So is that the plan for you? Get this one out of the way, sort of shake off whatever maybe demons you had about the last fight and say, look, let's run it back, because you believe you're better than that performance, don't you?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Honestly, I can put my right hand to God. It wasn't 60% of me, and then my timing was miles. I listened to a lot of things, but listen, I'm not going to complain about it. Things that I've done, what I shouldn't have not done in the camp, like get my weight down and all different things with sparring, just a lot of things. That was that. But as I said, my priority is on Saturday night going in there, enjoying it, getting the win again in front of a good crowd, getting a win, hopefully a knockout or so, something good. Get the confidence up, get the cobwebs off, see how the eye is. And then we're going to 23 and have something fight. This is the Jordan Gill fight there. I would love that Jordan Gill fight. Yeah. Obviously the Nick Ball fight there. But Nick Ball's obviously now he's a bit. He might be chasing other things. So let him carry on and I'll carry on. And if we can meet, we can meet. And I'll fight anyone.
Let's be honest. The Jordan Gill fight now seems more of a likely step, because Jordan were riding high, but he's had that knockout defeat to Guthrie, who's now fighting Michael Conlon. You had the defeat to Nick Ball, but there was a bit of something there between you and Jordan.
I think it's a great fight. I think the fans buy into it. We're both going to come and give it to each other. Jordan doesn't back away. I won't back away. We all know that. So I genuinely would like that fight for 2023. And I said that whoever it is, I'm not going to come on here and start calling out. My first priority is get over Saturday night, no injuries, get a good win, get the confidence buzz back, get feeling good, and then I'll train all over Christmas and go into a big 23 and make sure next year I need to make sure I make it pay.
100% right. Just before you go, one last thing, got to ask you about your boy Tyson. Fought on a lot of his cards before, and he's trained with him. Main event, Derek Chisora. It's the third time round. Derek's a different fighter, I think, from the first two fights, but so is Tyson under Sugar Hill. What do you make of this main event? What happens? Del Boy won't lie down, but obviously I know you're going to back Tyson to win.
Yeah, of course. Tyson, listen, like I've just said before on BT, Tyson's done a 9.5-week training camp for this, me and him, do you know what I mean? He has people saying, oh, well, he's took it lightly, this and that. Tyson's trained out of this than if he was fighting Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua. He's trained, he's locked himself away from his kids, his family, and he's stuck in, and he's in a good place. And I think Saturday night you'll see a good Tyson Fury. I think you'll see what he's going to do. And again, everyone keeps saying, oh, Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora, as he's got older, he's got better. He's like, he's got that mentality. He's like, win or lose, that's it. Chuck it all, and that's what you need to do against Tyson. Chuck it all at him.
And when you look at Derek's performance against Usyk, a lot of people were saying his performance against Usyk was better than Anthony Joshua.
He won that fight. You know what I mean? Look at him against Takam. You know what I mean? The heavyweight people, the 16, 17, 18 stone. If they hit you on the chin or Tyson's slappy or missing, he'll knock Tyson out, and Tyson knows that, and that's why Tyson has to be on his game.
Do you think Derek's potentially a tougher opponent than Anthony Joshua at this point?
Yeah, because we know what we all know what's on the tin. Like that says, well, hydrate. That will say Derek Chisora. He's going to come from round 1 to round 12 and give it to him everything he's got. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Where Anthony Joshua now is, I think where he's had the 2 fights back to back. I think he's still thinking about other people. Do you know what I mean? He's trying to blame people. He's trying to do this and that, and I don't know if his head's right in it. So I think Derek is a dangerous fight because he's got nothing to lose whatsoever. If he gets beat, he's getting paid, and that's it. He's going to chuck it all.
100%. Well, look, Isaac, we wish you well in your comeback fight. It's been nice to see you back out, and hopefully a good 2023 for you. So I appreciate your time. Thanks for talking to Boxing Social. We'll catch up after your fight.
Thank you very much for having me on. Thank you.